Hey you guys, this is Jamila Tallulah, and I am here to refilm my double dose paper bag mini. And you can use it as a mini album, or you could use it as an insert into a bigger album or even a junk journal. So what you will need is some wet glue. So I'm going to use a good old quick dry adhesive, wet glue, 2 large paper bags, and I would start with the large paper bags first just so that you get a feel for it and that you can see where you have extra room. You need something to write with just to make some marks. Cutter. You want some ATG glue, some scissors, and something to press down your scores with. Yeah, so let's get started. The first thing you want to do to your bags is go ahead and cut off this nasty edge here. Sometimes I leave it because if the bag isn't too bad or too damaged, or even if the bag is kind of thick, then you can actually use that as part of your decoration. So you're going to do this to both bags. Cut that strip off. Then you're pretty much done with your cutter, except for when you get out your papers to embellish. Now, the next thing you want to do is work with both of your bags, because I did this wrong twice already. You want to do both of your bags so that the long piece, the open part, is to your right. Okay? And then this flap is to the left. So that this is the bottom of your bag with the flap up, and then here is your open pack. You want to do both of your bags in this orientation, because if not, you get flipped around easily. So you're going to take your bag, you have this here, you want to go ahead and you're going to do basically a Z fold. So you're going to take the bag, fold it back so it's pretty much even. I just leave a tiny little piece because I like that, and then you're going to fold it back. Okay? So what you end up with is basically a Z fold. Once you have the first bag done, I would label it bag 1, and then this is the top. So I'm going to go ahead and label mine the top so that you can see as well. So this is the top of your bag, okay, up there, okay, and here's your bag 1. Set that aside just for a second. Don't put it out of the way. Then you need to get bag 2. And okay, so bag 2, you want to work in the same orientation so that here's the top of your bag that's open, and here is the bottom of the bag, okay? Then what you're going to do, and we're going to do a dry fitting here, is what we're going to do basically, so you can see where the pieces go. It's very simple. You take the second bag and you put it inside this section here, okay? So you're just going to sit that in there for right now to dry fit it. And what you should have is, this is the front cover, here's a pocket that you're going to create, okay? Then you have this section, which is the open part of your bag. Now, pretty much kind of hold them together just so you can get a feel. You're basically going to wrap this bag around to the back. So I like to give it just a little bit extra down here, just a smidge. Okay. Alright. So this is what you have in the front. Okay. Here's your bag 1. There's bag 2 stuck in. It's only a smidge beyond. Okay. So then you've wrapped it around the back. And then you have this little piece left over. This flap here from bag 2. That you can just gently fold over the front like that, which I'm not partial to that. So I like to fold it, so here's the bag, so that it folds over into here, and that's going to be where you put your closure. So it will close right there, okay? So that's basically how you wrap this book. Here's bag 1, bag 2, wraps it around, then here, okay? Now, the rest of this basically is finding and gluing and putting in all your tags. So we've dry fitted it. Now you have your marks where you're going to fold. So I'm just going to go ahead and burnish those marks, because you want to use the marks. Oh, I should say the folds. as guidelines as to where you're going to cut everything. Okay, so I'll be back for part 2. Okay, so now here's our paper bag mini basically, and what you need to do is I've gone ahead and put top and bottom. Well, I put the top, mark the top of the bags. It's still dry fitted together. So this is this is bag 1, bag 2. Okay, so we have those together. Bag 1, bag 2. Now, what you're going to do is just pull it apart. Just take that section out. For bag 2, we're just going to start with bag 2 because that is easier to cut. It's all easy pretty much. But this is what bag 2 looks like. There's the back. Here's the front cover. Here's this tag that we're going to make here. This pocket. Okay. So for bag 2, I went ahead and marked where my front cover, where the closure is going to be. And I've marked here where this wraps around to fold this pocket, because just so you can see where the lines were. I am going to cut for bag 2. I am going to cut from this line here all the way to the end of the bag here. Okay, so I'm going to cut from this mark that I made on this side all the way down the bag to the corner. Do not cut this little section right here. Okay? Don't cut that. You want to cut this part of the bag. Okay? So just take some scissors and cut. And if it's easier, you can just slice down the whole side, but then you'll have to go back and glue. So I'm just going to cut straight down here. Okay. Now, notice you have the V. Okay. You don't want to cut this V. You want to cut the back of the bag V. Okay. And what that does, I'm going to go this way. Okay, that's what you want to do. So when your bag is done, it should look like that. Okay, so here's your flap, and you have this piece here hanging out. Go ahead and take those pieces on both sides and ATG them. You don't need a lot. You just want the ATG to stick them down so that when you put your tags in, they don't run into this. So I'm going to go here on that piece that you cut, put the ATG in gun, and just fold that back down. So that is along the back of the bag, like that. And do the same thing to the other side. I'm trying to make it so you can see, but I'm doing the same thing on the other side. Just go ahead and put some ATG down. And it doesn't have to be a lot. Just get it in there so you can tack this down. Okay. Alright. Then, when you fold your bag back up according to the lines you had, you now have space for a tag there. Big old tag. And you have space for a tag here. In that pocket. And then you also have this place where we're going to make a pocket there. Okay? So that's your bag 2. For your bag 1, I've done the same thing for you. I went ahead and marked, here's the top, I went ahead and marked the last part of my Z fold. Okay, so it's right there. We don't want this part cut. Okay, so this part where the bag opens, we don't want that cut. So we're going to cut again from this line all the way down to this end of the bag. Okay, so from the line down. and that'll give you your tags in the top from that. So we do that the same way as we did before. And you want to make sure it's in the top of your bag, not in the bottom, otherwise you'll have to redo it. I did that one time too. I cut the bag the wrong way because I wasn't paying attention. And so we cut that and go to this corner, not that one. So basically we're cutting towards the back of the bag. ATG again. Just a little bit to stick that puppy down in the back. Do the other side. Stick that puppy down in the back. You have to excuse me for turning it around. I was trying to get you to see. Okay, I'm just tacking it in there. Then when you fold your bag back up, you have your lines. And so now there is a space for a tag back here. Boo. And a space for a tag on the other side back there. And then you'll have your tag here on this inside. Okay? So hopefully that was clearer so that everybody understands that. Okay, it should be, I hope. Okay, all right, in part 3, I'm going to put it all together. All right, welcome back to part 3, and here we go. So we have our 2 bags, our bags 1 and 2. They are now scored, they are now cut, and everything is ready to assemble. So here's bag 1, here's bag 2. And basically, you do the same thing that we did when we dry fit it. You're going to take the end of the bag 2, slide it into the bag 1. That comes down there, like that. Then you have the piece that wraps around the back. And then becomes your cover flap, whether you want it on top or whether you want it in between the pages. Okay, so now we have to actually stick these things together. So, first thing is I'm going to take bag number 2 that you have here. So you've got bag number 2. You have to glue down this flap so you can form your pocket. Use wet glue. And I can't remember who was the first person to say that when I was looking at tutorials, and I was like, oh, that's so much better. Because when I was using ATG on the sides, my tags kept sticking. So we're going to go ahead and glue that down on both sides. Don't worry about this extra stuff because you're going to cover all that with paper. So we're going to go ahead and glue these sides down. Okay, so we have that. Then for bag 1, you have this section. You're going to glue your bag 2 in there. So I'm just going to put ATG right there on that section. So this is going to be like that. Okay, so we're just going to put some ATG in this section only. Okay. And then slide your bag back to the crease. So it should be the bottom of the bag. Hopefully you can see that. So now your 2 bags are glued together. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece down here. Now you could do it one of 2 ways. You can either go ahead and glue this piece down so that your pockets are made, okay? Or you can leave this flap undone because now the bags are together. You can leave this flap undone so that you can mat here first and then put your flap down, okay? So you would glue down here when you're done. And then you have this refold here, right? So this is going to wrap around to the back. And then you have that. So that when you open it, you have here, you have here, there's this, there's that, okay? Then you have a section here, here, and here. And that is your name, okay? Alright, and as I said, you go ahead and put all of your embellishments in. And I think what I'm going to do here is go ahead and insert the video from the first one that shows where to put your tags and so forth. So thanks for watching, and I hope that clears up everything for you, and I would love to see a video. Okay, bye. Hi guys, this is Jamie Tallulah, and I am here to do a tutorial on my double bag mini album. I was obsessed with the paper bag cards, and so I was playing around and I wanted to do something different. So I saw, I was playing with some bags, and I already did a video on this, which was my double bag mini album. And we talked about how it is here. You have tags here, here, and on the side. It opens up this way. Then you have pieces here, and another piece here. And you open it again, and there's a flap there. You have this wide spread if you want to do one, or you can do it, add more than one paper. You have this clip here. Then when you close it back up, flip it over, and you have a place in the back for a photo as well as a tag. And this will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tags in it. Or obviously you could add smaller tags if you want to. And then there's a tag here. I put 2 tags here on this side. Okay, so I'm going to show you the supplies I'm going to do. I am just going to do the base and with the matting, and then you can go ahead and embellish, and then I'll show another part of the video where I've done all that. Okay, so